Yes, welcome to yet another video, and in this kind of a session I'm going to be taking you through some programming equipments and some automation equipments that we use. So right about today I'm bringing you switches, and the switch is one of the most simplest items you can see. This here is a switch because a switch is something that can make or break up the circuit. So if you're looking for something that can make or break up the circuit, that is, you're looking for a switch. So a few characteristics. If you need a switch, what do you need to consider? You need to consider the capacity of that switch, if it can withstand the current, and also if it can broke the voltage, because when the switch is off, it is breaking the voltage. Maybe if normally, like in our houses, we are having 241. So if a switch cannot break 241, that means it is going to break the insulation in between the contacts is gonna break, and then due to the oxidation of air, that's when you find the switch has melted or something like that. So, and as well as overload. When it is overloaded and cannot maintain that current carrying capacity, it will break. So what kind of switches do we have? We have very many types of switches. Looking at this switchboard, you may see a number of switches, but if I ask you to count them, I know most of you will count wrongly. Majority of you will tell me two switches, and some will try to make up to 5, but actually we have around like 10 switches behind me over here. So what types of switches? We have mechanical switches. This is a mechanical switch because you can hear its clicking sound. If so, I have to mechanically click it. And then we have switches like a sensor switch. So this is a sensor switch. It has sensed a ferromagnetic material. And then we have electromagnetic switch. An electromagnetic switch is a relay. A relay is here. And we have a relay. So for a relay, I have to command it using a particular signal, a voltage signal. So electromechanic. So over here in this PLC, I have put in a program, and I think it is connected to X01. So if I press X01 over here, this relay is turning on, and I don't have the light. I think the relay, I connected it to this one. You see, it is turning on, and if I turn this one off, it also gets off. So that's an electromagnetic. I use an electric signal to mechanically move is it, how is it called? I've forgotten. The mechanical spring inside. So that's how it is. So we have a bunch of switches, and then not forgetting the solid state switches. Those are in the types of semiconductors, the diodes, and the MOSFETs, the BJTs, and all of that. So most of the times you will not see the semiconductor switches because they are always embedded within the PCBs, maybe in the inverters, maybe if you have like voltage controlled anything, like, and you have to control it. So basically in automation you don't see it, but we shall have to learn about it. I will have to bring in a more favorable way of learning about it, and you know what we really want. So that has been about switches. So giving an example, in this kind of my board, I'm having both AC and DC. So in here I have supplied all these switches with DC. One thing that I have forgotten to tell you, a sensor is also a switch. A sensor is also a switch because this one is sensing any electromagnetic ferromagnetic material, but it is also turning on the circuit. I think it is connected to this lamp. So if we sense this, it has turned on. Oh, it is connected to this one. So this is how switches work. So when you have a switch is the first space in a first space in automation, because it's where signals have to emanate from. Like, signals have to come from the field level, and it comes via switches. Maybe one person has switched on something or switched off, because actually nowadays mostly the switching is done remotely. and then we transfer the signal to the terminal units, which are terminating through the PLCs or any controller you have in your plant. And then from there, you control a bigger electromagnetic switch, or contactors, all those. So basically, I brought this kind of a thing to help us to understand switches. So without going any other further, I'm going to just take you through, because this PLC is already programmed. I have the it's just a simple program, basic program, turn on and off. It's not something like rocket science in between. There's nothing like timers, any functions. No, it's just coordinating the inputs and outputs. So I coordinated the inputs and outputs for us to visualize. So you can see these are just AC switches that are helping to make and break. But even if they are on, there's nothing that is going to take place, because I mean, we are dealing with automation. We want to see the thing of automation. So these ones are going to always be on, but then we want to see how these ones operate. So this one, when I place it, it is a maintained switch. It will stay in its current position until I press it again. You can hear the clicking sound. And once I place it, you can see the PLC side is showing me an indicator that I have pressed X0, but actually it is connected to this. It's connected to this. So this switch is controlling that. I have a few number of lamps. That's why. Then this middle one is a momentary switch. I place it, it comes by itself back. I press it, it comes by itself back. You see, it cannot stay in its position. So that's what we call a momentary switch. And then this one as well, it is a maintained switch. So I place it, I have to come back and switch it off again. As likewise as those wall switches we have inside our houses. You see, it has controlled that lamp. Not until I place it back, you see. And now, I told you as well, the sensor is also a switch. So also a sensor is considered as a switch. So I think in this video we have come up to know how switches work, and in the next coming videos at least we shall understand the connections and maybe other things like electromagnetic switches and all that, maybe considerably. And if we have anything along the journey, we shall be sharing with you. Thank you so much.